ताल ही अंग है,
ताल ही रंग है,
ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है।
ताल ही अंग है,
ताल ही रंग है, ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है।
ताल ही ज्ञान है, ताल ही शान है,
ताल ही ज्ञान है, ताल ही शान है।
ताल साज और सुरों का संगम
ताल ही अंग है,
ताल ही रंग है,
ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है।
ताल ही अंग है,
ताल ही रंग है, ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है।
ताल ही ज्ञान है, ताल ही शान है,
ताल ही ज्ञान है, ताल ही शान है।
ताल साज और सुरों का संगम
Namaskar, Pranam, and welcome back to another episode of Tabla Tarang, brought to you by Tabla Niketan. We know you all love the title song so much, so we thought we'd give you a once more for it today. Ladies and gentlemen, about 3 months ago, we started working on a new idea, a completely virtual, multi-round group competition for Tabla Niketan students. The last few months have been some of the most productive and the busiest months of this year. And today, we are all here to celebrate the 10th episode of Tabla Tarang. I hope you're all watching this episode with your family, so do take a moment to take a special selfie with your family and share it with us. In today's episode, you'll get a chance to hear some first-hand experiences from the team that brings you this event every week, followed by an amazing tabla solo by our judge, Tejover Soshiji. We will also find out the best performing group of round 2 in each category. And to announce those results, let's welcome our judge, Pandit Amod Dangeji. Namaskar Amodji, and welcome back to Tabla Tarang. It'll be great if you can announce the results for the best performers of round 2, the round that consisted of Uthan and Peshkar. We are having trouble connecting to Amodji. Okay, let's come back to that towards the end of the episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, bringing these episodes on a daily basis requires an immense amount of effort from an entire backstage team. As part of today's 10th episode, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the team behind this entire production. First, I'd like to welcome on screen Rishi Agarwalji, our Chief Logistics Engineer. Rishi ji, welcome to Tabla Tarang.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Thank you. It's a privilege to have you here today. Thank you so much. So, Rishi ji, when we were beginning our research to find a platform roughly 3 months ago, what was it about this platform that you felt was suitable for our needs?
That's a great question. And, as you know, all of us were checking out many different platforms and trying out various things. And a few things kind of stood out. Uh, First of all, of course, this being a music show, a tabla show, sound quality was paramount. We needed the ability to have multiple guests, all from remote
Right.
locations, all with different connectivity challenges, as we've seen,
Yes.
all sharing on the screen. And we wanted to do it in a way where it was easy for the guests to log in. No complicated sign
Right.
ups or privileges or things like that.
Yes.
Um, as all our viewers know, our episodes are a mix of live and recorded programming. And so we needed the ability to go do that mix and bring it all in a seamless show. And of course, we had to have the ability to cast it both on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live.
Yes.
And then, most
Definitely.
importantly, of course, we have Sunilji, who's our show director, to be able to do all of this stuff live every episode and do it in an easy manner. That's a very important requirement as well. So, you remember we had all these
Right.
platforms that we tested, and finally, this one was the one that sort of fit the bill on most of our criteria.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you explained that very well. You know, if we had this platform back when we did our virtual concert in May, I think it would have made everything so much easier because rather than splicing together every group's performance and making it one large video, we could have had our MCs join live and then we could have just added each video separately and ran the entire show. But
Absolutely.
I think virtual concert was, much more different than this. It was a one-time event. So
And it's
definitely
it's
had a lot of
interesting,
fun on
right?
that.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? As you see, as time has passed, even over the last 3 months, just the amount of
Yeah,
time people have focused on bringing these platforms, the number of virtual concerts, it's a whole different world in this month now than when we started back in May and June for planning all this.
exactly. Yes, very well said, I think. Risiji, thank you so much. Once again, it's hard to imagine how we would be running these weekly episodes if you hadn't introduced us to this platform. So thank you for your support and looking forward to working together on many more projects. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Next, I'd like to introduce you all to the person who runs the entire sound of this show. Whatever you hear is all the editing efforts of this one person, our Chief Audio Engineer, Ishwar IRG.
Thank you
Ishwar
for
bhai,
having.
welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much. It's
having me
good to
here.
see you. Thank you. So Ishwar bhai, we've been airing so many recordings on a weekly basis. Some are very complicated, like our Ganesh Utsav performance, which had over 40 tracks of audio. Some of them are a little bit simpler with just 2 or 3 tracks. So what is one of the biggest challenges that you face when you edit all of this?
First of all, I would like to thank Sri Satish Taireji, who is also my Guruji, for creating this wonderful Tabla Niketan musical family, which encourages students to believe in themselves and grow their talents. And to answer your question, speaking of challenges, let me try to give you a few examples that comes to my mind. For example, when I was working on the students' performance, the
Mhm.
synchronization, or in other words, the timing of all the tracks when played together in each group performance was completely off. And
Yeah,
perhaps the biggest challenge was to get all of them to sound as if they were playing together in real time and on sync
correct.
with the lehra. That was a huge challenge, and I'm sure a little
Yeah,
bit of editing when you were doing video editing, you would have faced the same situation. But once that was solved, there was another problem, and that was the pitch. And the pitch is very
Yes.
important, right? So every student's tabla track that was given to me was of a different key, or a
Right.
sur, and they did not match each other at all. And the lehra was on C, and the tablas were all over the place. Some had tuned their tablas for C sharp or E flat, F sharp, everything. So the challenge was to correct their pitches individually
Mhm.
and get all of them to sound in C and match the lehra without messing up the tempo and the tuning of the baya, because once you
Right.
apply the pitch correction to the tabla, the baya also changes. So I got to be careful with that. So that was interesting.
Yes.
And yeah, another challenge I can think of is that the pile sounds, the anklets of the dancers, during the
Yes.
Ganesh Utsav song, which had to be
Correct.
synced to the mood of the song, because the
Yes.
payals not necessarily follow the rhythm of the tablas or the
Right.
singers at all times, because the dancers
Right.
had their own rhythm, and they had to match it to their expressions, which they
Mhm.
beautifully calculated to blend with the tempo of the song. So I had
Right.
to work on editing and syncing them correctly without causing a clash of rhythms. So that was challenging. So only after I could fix all of this was I really able to get into the actual process of mixing or mastering, which is very different from
Mhm.
editing, by the way. And so yeah, these were some of the challenges that I had.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I had worked on many projects, and so it was nothing new to me. But ultimately, it was a fun experience. So thank you,
Mhm.
Ashish, and kudos to you for collaborating and coordinating with all the artists, students, and the wonderful
Yeah.
core team members. Without whom this wouldn't have happened. They contributed a
Definitely.
lot to make this into a very joyful experience, that everyone can
Yes.
enjoy, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's a lot of great sound engineers out there, but I'm sure there's very few sound engineers who are also tabla players, and Ishwar Bhai is one of those few. So it's our privilege that you're part of this team. Thank you for being there, and I hope you always stay in our team.
I will. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I hope the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to invite on screen the young and talented Pradyumna Karpurao. Pradyumna is our special events coordinator and helps coordinate the performance, such as the Independence Day presentation that you saw a few weeks ago. He's also working on some exciting presentations that are coming up in the next few weeks. Pradyumna, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really nice to be
Yeah.
on this episode.
Yes, thank you. So you've been working with a few students for the past few weeks for the special performance videos. How has that experience been, and what do you look for when you get the videos from them?
So it's been quite great, actually. So I think I would start off by saying that Shri Satish ji and yourself, and I think your whole family has created like a very beautiful atmosphere, and like
Thank you.
it's literally like a family, and
Thank you.
everybody has like quite a lot of respect and dedication towards this art. So I'm saying this because when I was, coordinating for the previous special event, so when I got the video, there were certain aspects of it which needed to be changed. So it
Mhm.
needed to be re-recorded. So when I reached out, to the participants and told them it needs to be redone, they did it without any hesitation and sent me something with a much better quality. So generally we look for something which has a non-distracting background. The video quality has to be very high, the audio quality has to look good, and um, the lighting and all that stuff. So yeah, so those are some of the things that I look for. And it's been a great experience working with the different people who are presenting. Yep.
Definitely. Yes, thank you so much. And those were the perfect requirements for our videos. I know round three videos are due tomorrow for some of the categories. So those of you that are planning to record tonight or tomorrow, Pradyumna just went over those requirements. So you got your little refresher there. But thank you so much. And I'll do take a moment here to say that we do have some exciting videos coming up from participants. Very soon we will have a Mridangam solo, followed by a Mridangam and Tabla Jugalbandi in the next few weeks. So Pradyumna, thank you so much. Looking forward to the next videos.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up on screen. Right, let me correct that. I shouldn't say that I want to call him on screen because he's the one who controls everything that you see on this screen. He switches between live video feeds and recorded video feeds. He creates these gorgeous backgrounds that you see. All the logo, all of this was created by him. Please welcome our Chief Broadcasting Engineer, Sunil Desankarji. Sunilji, welcome. I shouldn't say welcome to you because you're the one who's bringing all of us on screen. But today is our 10th episode. And we've been doing this for over 2 months now. And I can say that every time I see the 60-second countdown and then the title song, my nervousness suddenly goes up. My heart rate goes up as well. And I'm sure it's even more difficult for you because you're managing all of the live stream. You're interacting and making sure the judges are on screen, making sure the right group is presented at the right time. What are the thoughts going on in your mind minutes before we go live? Sunilji, I think you're on mute. We're not able to hear you.
Okay. Okay. First of all, namaskar to all the Tabla Niketan families. It is wonderful to be on the other side of the stage today.
Yes.
So, to answer your question, basically. So around 7:20 p.m. local time, once we activate the live streams and push the Tabla Tarang Go Live banner, that is the moment of truth. At that point, we know in 10 minutes, we'll go from backstage to front of the audience. This is when there are butterflies in tummy and all the fingers, toes, everything is crossed.
Yes.
It starts when we get the studio ready for broadcasting. Around 6:45 p.m. local time, we add feeds of our esteemed judges from India and do sound and video check with them. Then we do the audio video check with each and every guest for the episode. At this point, Wi-Fi is turned off. All devices in the home are either off or on the data plan so that all the bandwidth is available for our live stream over Ethernet. With guidance
Exactly.
from Satishji, Ashish and I sync up and decide the sequence for the episode. In the morning, I have reversed this in my head few times while thinking of all the options to mitigate if any risks that could arise from a number of failure points. During the live session, if we have to address any issues, it becomes challenging since not only are we all incommunicado, but also many miles apart. So even to address issues like
Definitely.
audio or video freeze, we have to depend on messaging and sometimes phone calls.
Yes.
Then at 7:30 p.m. when the countdown starts, imagine you are watching a drama on a live stage. After every scene, when the backdrop has to be changed or props have to be repositioned, the lights are dimmed or the curtains come down. Now imagine your TV
Yes.
screen as a drama stage where you are watching a pre-recorded movie as one scene, then on the same screen you are watching a live conversation as another scene, and then at some point you are watching both the conversation panel and the pre-recorded video together at the third scene. The main
Correct.
difference is that there is no dimming of lights or bringing the curtains down. So while one
Yes.
scene is playing, the other scene has to be prepped backstage and pushed in the front as soon as first scene ends without any gaps. So when the episode goes live, while the countdown is playing, we create the media for the first scene. basically get the artists and backdrops ready using combination of live feeds, media assets, graphics that were queued backstage. Then while the first scene is going on, we prepare the second scene and then push that forward and so on and so forth. In one of the episodes, we had 12 guests joining the live stream when we were going back and forth between the recorded video and live stream, so redesigning the screen space that many times.
Correct.
Thanks to Gandhar, who came to rescue in coordinating with all the guests at that time. While watching the live episode, my daughters send me messages if they see any issues as audience. After the episode, I get all the detailed analytical report. Each episode brings some new challenges to work on and make the next episode better. With today's episode,
Definitely.
we have entered double digits. Going from single digit to double digit was a short journey with a deep learning curve. Journey from double digit to triple digit is typically the long one. And we look forward to that with all of your support and blessings. That was a bit, uh, I took a bit more time to answer the question, but hopefully that gave a glimpse of what goes on behind the scene when the episode goes live.
Definitely. Yes, yes. And I don't think there's a real way to feel the atmosphere that goes on in the studio, minutes before we go live, or if there's any issues. It's a feeling that's very hard to describe. But
Yeah,
thank you so much, and it's really fun working on this with you here.
same
I'm
here.
missing having you here today because I'm so used to having you sitting right here to my left side, controlling everything. So definitely missing that, and can't wait to have you
Yeah,
back here next week.
yeah. Okay,
So
thank you.
next, I want to thank you. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite parts of Tabla Tarang, the title track. And you heard the title track twice today. That was because we wanted to get your attention. When we came up with the idea of this competition, we wanted to have a signature tune for all our episodes, a tune that all of you will remember even after the season ends and for years to come. So we reached out to Ravi Pongsheji from Dombivli to see if he could create a tune. He wasn't able to join us live today, but he sent us a short video of how he made the tune. So let's go ahead and watch the video by Ravi Pongsheji and his wife Sonia Pongsheji.
Hi, I'm Ravi Pongshe.
Hi, I'm Sonia.
First of all, I'm thankful to Mr. Satish Tare, my senior Guru Bandhu, and his handsome son, Ashish, for giving this opportunity. When he told me, you only have to write lyrics also, it was big task for me. But I love tabla and all rhythm instruments from my age 5. I have taken this opportunity to give words also for this song. For we musicians and also for laymen, tal is a very important aspect in our life. So while speaking to him, only I have started whispering some lines for tal. Tal is our life, tal is our colors of life, tal is only the talent. Without proper heartbeats, nobody can survive. So first two lines automatically come in my mind. ताल ही रंग है, ताल ही अंग है, ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है. Because of love for tabla and blessing of my guru, late Pandit Madhavji Tare, Pandit Arvindji Mulgaonkar and Pandit Narayanji Joshi, in 10 minutes I have wrote my lines and simultaneously music comes in. Akshay, my talented student, done the arranging work, that is Akshay Kavle, done the arranging work in one day. Then next day, we moved to recording studio, and I am thankful to Parikshit Kulkarni also. In his busy schedule, he gave us 2 hours for recording. And he done the mixing work also very well. Sonia, my wife, and Hardik, my talented vocal student, they sung this song in one take, and myself and Akshay given him the chorus. My one more talented student, Kaustup, played tabla fantastically in one take. One more thing which I want to share with you, that I have started this song with Padant, ending with Tintal, because Tintal is a king of all tal. So I'll just make two lines for you. I'll తిరిగిడి ధాతునా తిరిగిడి గిన్నె తున్న గిన్నె నన్న తున్న కింద నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నా తిరిగిడి నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నా తిరిగిడి నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నాదిన్ తిన్న నా ఇట్ లైక్ దాట్. సో థ్యాంక్స్ అగైన్ టు మిస్టర్ సతీష్ జీ, Ashish. Now Sonia will sing two lines for you.
ताल ही ज्ञान है, ताल ही शान है, ताल साज और सुरों का संगम है. तबला तरंग, तबला तरंग, तबला तरंग, तबला तरंग, तबला तरंग, तबला तरंग.
Namaste. Welcome to all to this show. Generally, Ashish does all this work, but today he pushed me to get into this set, and I have no other choice to probably come in front of with you. So my humble pranam, humble sadar pranam to all those who are sincerely, seriously, hardworkingly behind the stage, on the stage, back the stage, making this show happen. First of all, I would like to thank you so much from bottom of my heart to all our mentors, Anjana Ayerji, Pratik Shahaji, Amit Karmarkarji, Rahul Zingre, Nandu Sankaran, Sarang ji, Abhinav Das. So these mentors are working with probably group 1 and group 2 for last couple of months, and they are making their progress day and night. Thank you so much, all of you. Without your support, it would not have been possible. As Ashish was talking to all of the backstage, personalities, Rishiji, Ishwar Bhai, Pradyumna, Mandar Kulkarni, his wife Sujata, Sunilji, enormous work, Ravi and Sonia. Without you, probably the title song would not even happen. And last but not least, both of my son, Ashish as well as Gandha, they are tremendously working on that on every week. So thank you so much for everybody, all the students, all the participants, all the parents. I don't have any words to thanks to you. Without your support, again, we cannot do these events. So please bless us. Please continue your wishes, and so that we can continue this for years to come. Now, the most interesting part of today, and probably the key part of today, is one of our judges, Tejavrush Joshi ji, will be performing his tabla solo. He's an amazing artist. He's a budding artist, upcoming artist from India. He was visiting to us, staying us for a while, and we had a good interaction with him during our stay. Please listen to him, and then please enjoy the show. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
Hello, namaste, good morning, good evening to all of you from wherever you are. Thank you for taking out your time and joining this wonderful session and being a part of it. I thank Shri Satish Tareji, Shri Ashish Tareji, and all the dedicated team members of Tabla Niketan, a leading organization in California, in the US, dedicated towards Indian music and arts, for this wonderful online virtual competition, and as well as all of their other ventures, which I constantly look up to and follow. Thank you for making me a part of this wonderful, one of its kind event, which is so rarely seen, or in my experience, not seen up until now. And I'm so glad and so happy to see students from all over the globe participating in this and making this a very beautiful journey. I especially loved all of Tabla Niketan's students' performances, and I personally congratulate everyone. And my best wishes are always there with all of you who are trying to succeed, who are trying to make music, who are trying to be a part of this wonderful tradition, wonderful culture, and spreading the happiness and positivity through their interpretation of the art. I once again thank Satish ji for making this happen. So I'll be just having some fun, explaining some things, playing some things, and something something informative. So let's start with the traditional process of what a tabla solo is. And I have been telling all of you, whoever have performed in the online virtual competition, I have been giving them some tips, some pointers about how your body posture should be, your hand posture should be, your shoulders, your spine, and all of these little details. And all of us thought that it would be better if we could show it to you via this short video demonstration, play a few things, and so you could get a quick overview of how you should be while you're playing, what your mindset should be, what your physique should be. So here's a small attempt to convey whatever I have learned from my masters, and would be glad to share all of this, and hope all of you can make make worth of it, and I think I hope this is useful to all of you in the future. So I'd be explaining some small details, like whenever you sit to play the tabla, your hand position, your shoulder positions should exactly be the same as when you're sitting normally or having a chat with your friends, with your parents. You should be normally sitting while you play tabla. Playing the tabla should be an extension of what you're doing normally, not something entirely different that you have to do, or that that seems like an external thing to do. It's not. It's just an internal and intrinsic part of what you are. So treat the instrument as your own. Treat the instrument as an extension of your body. That's when you'll really get the hang of it. You'll really connect with the instrument more. We are all connecting to it in some sort of a way. So a few tricks to get there. Keep your posture very upright, as you can see. Keep your spine straight. Keep your legs folded, not too tightly, comfortably. And most of you don't have the habit of keeping your legs folded and sitting like this. So practice is the only way to get there. If you're not habitual of sitting like this, please make a note of sitting like this every day for at least an hour or so. Start with 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and go on about it. But do that regularly. And while you sit, of course, you would be doing your riyaz while you sit in that position. So make sure that posture is right, because all of your energy levels heavily depend upon how you sit or how you approach the instrument. One thing I have learned from my Guruji, Pandit Bapu Sahab Patwardhanji, he passed away last year when he was 84 years old, with unfortunately with blood cancer. But let me tell you, he had immense willpower and a will to find his own way through his sickness of attaching to his instrument or connecting to his instrument. He had a very natural way of connecting to the instrument, and that's what his life work was all about. He used to urge people to not lose touch or contact with the instrument, and for a longer time when people age, and that's why even when he was 84, he used to practice for 2 hours until he was hospitalized. So that's a great deal to learn from him, and that's something that he has done by naturally approaching the instrument. So now, as I'm sitting, I would just go on and play like this. There's no this. There's no this. You should closely look up to yourself, and as I suggested, I would really like if some of you have a mirror right in front of you to view yourself, as to see if you're becoming a little aggressive or not. That's something to figure out with time. That's something that you should do daily. So as I was saying, just naturally, just like you're talking with someone else, you're having a conversation with your parents, or just a simple talk, casual talk. So focus on these things. They are very important. They're very simple. They're very important. And although they may seem simple, it takes a while to get there. And so I think I've talked too much now. So I'll get about the solo. I'll get on, and I'll play some Peshkar, Chalan, Farrukhabad Chalan, then a Qaida, a very traditional Qaida that I've heard and played for a long time. Then a Rela, and then some compositions, some guts, a few compositions are in there. So as and when I feel necessary, I'll take the microphone and explain. Okay. I'll just show you a glimpse of 2 minutes of each thing, so that you get an overview of what playing or what posture or what tone is needed. Thank you. traditional peshkar. I'll be doing some jatis, tishra, chatushra, and then hopping on to the chalan. Chalan. Switch some jatis here. So as you can see, I am focusing my energies not from here, not from the shoulder, not from here, but from here, from the wrist. And I think this one is better. So focusing from your wrists is an essential part of keeping your energy flows intact. You can play effectively, you can play for a longer time, and it just gives you the confidence you need. So focus on releasing the energy through your wrists from here, not from here. Because if you do this, half of your energy is gone by holding this steady. You know, if you play like this, or in general like this, or even if you're sitting normally, but if your shoulders are up, then half of your energies are going to, go up there or here, trying to maintain those shoulders and their positions. So release all of it, let it be very natural, like when you casually sit for eating and any other thing. Let it be that natural, and just just go on about it. So I'll play the chalan and then kaida. dagana dagana dataka digina dataka dati dagana dinagana tishra. This was a very short interpretation of that qaida. Let's move on to Rela. During the Rela, it's very quintessential to keep your hands very compact and in a compact direction, in a compact way, so that they don't falter here and there and lose their field or their energy. because once you do that, there are high chances of getting yourself exhausted or not finding the proper field to put your hands on. So just some constant interpretation of what needs to be done, so that you know that it should stay in the field. Let's move on to some compositions. Very essential that your hands stay in the decided frame and the decided field so that they don't falter. This is a very traditional Furukabad gat. It's known as Titori gat. So this is the starting, and it's the similar ending. Very traditional guy. I really wanted to make it short, but it's almost half an hour. So thank you for bearing with me, and I hope everything that I could share was useful, and yeah, definitely, being one of the judges, I'm thankful to be connected to all of you, and you can ask me any questions whenever you like, and we are all part of a process which is so greater than us that it will take lifetimes to even understand a percent of it. So I'm glad that we are all coexisting and wanting to better ourselves each and every day. So just like you, I'm a student. I'm a part of the larger boon of the music that we are able to acknowledge, and I'm forever grateful to have been connected with people like you. And that's it. I'll end my short performance or a lecture, whatever you call it, and hope to see you all again next week.
Thank you so much, Tejavarshi. That was fantastic, just mesmerizing, simply beautiful. The playing, it was just amazing. So thank you so much for that treat for our audience today. I'm sure everybody loved it. I'm already seeing those messages on the WhatsApp group and the Facebook and YouTube comments. So thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Unfortunately, we're not able to connect with Avoji yet. So we will have to postpone the announcement of the results for round 2 until next week. So thank you so much to all of you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this special episode, meeting all of the backstage team as well as enjoying Tejaversi's Tabla solo. I will see you all next week, same day, same time, to meet the contestants of Category 4 for round 3. Thank you.
ताल ही अंग है,
ताल ही रंग है,
ताल जीवन के पहलू का ये संग है।